what's up? It's Demented, and today I have for you another review. I wanted to review Jake because I'm not a big fan of him, and I think that, personally, it would be better for the Outlaws to be playing Juby pretty much on everything. I think Juby's a lot more well-rounded, and I think Jake is kind of in a very weird position, but they keep kind of shoving him to the light, which really fucking sucks. But I mean, I guess I'll let the gameplay talk for itself. So I also want to bring up his stats because he got player of the match for this exact match, and I'm a little confused why, because none of his stats are necessarily like breathtaking. Like, I mean, just to give you an example of what I guess I'm looking at, I'm looking at the card that they put before the end of the match when they actually like gave Jake the player of the match and the interview and everything. I mean, healing per 10 is like 8.3k, which I don't think is that good because Brig heals a fuck ton if you're playing it correctly. And I mean, the defensive assists are really low if you've seen something like skewed stats, which obviously those were a little overinflated at the time because of the Vancouver Titans. But just in general, in terms of defensive assists, if you're playing the character right, that plays itself, as well as Inspire uptime is 26%. And as someone who's been just playing Brig in their spare time recently, and I have like a 33% Inspire uptime rate, that's concerning to me. But I want to see why the Inspire uptime is very low. And also, I don't know why the fuck they add a stat for average time alive. I feel like that's very lame. But with that being said, let me get into my normal preface and start my lo-fi. That basically, I am a mostly main support based reviewer, and I guess we're actually gonna start Mercy unless we don't. But my intention with reviewing is for the sole purpose of driving the main support role forward instead of just only giving compliments to the individual that I'm reviewing, and basically trying to push it forward myself. So okay, so this is something that I brought up in the Drijo review that I won't bring up right now, but because I talked about in the Drijo review, which had EU heads fucking upset, was that I shit-talked Drijo playing on this high ground. But if you remember back to that exact instance, when I was shit-talking Drijo for playing on this high ground, because this is a pretty good high ground because of the Justice comp, and they have to dive up here, which is really fucking rough for them. But Crimzo's up here, which makes it a whole fucking world of difference when Khan was down here when Drijo was up here, and Drijo was defaulting up to here while Khan would stay down in this area, which was very concerning to me. Also, sorry my voice is shit. I literally just woke up, so and I saw that the replays were out, so I wanted to actually get a video up today. Okay, this is a long time without Inspire, and you're fucking lucky Decay was gracious enough to bless you with Inspire for really no reason. Okay, also Ego Flail, terrible. So I guess just to freshen anyone up who is, I guess, new to my lingo, Ego Flails are basically when you try and hit a DPS that's like a very niche pick instead of turning and hitting like a tank or something that's a lot more I don't know, something that's just a lot easier and something that's a lot more consistent for you to hit instead of trying to like hit the most amazing skill shot possible. But I hope you see what I mean here by like basically. Let's see. So I'm trying to remember how long it takes for the point to unlock, because for this entire 30 seconds up to this point, we do not proc inspire. But I mean, like, that proc is good, but do you see how it's bad? Because they're in the process of like engaging as we're just now getting inspire. And the way to counteract that is, I mean, it kind of sucks when you stay on this high ground, just a tiny bit, but also, like, remember what their comp has to do. Their tanks, if they want to stage, if their Sombra wants to spam, because I think a lot of people were talking about Assassin's spam Sombra and how good it was. So realistically, we draw a line here on the point, or on cage rather, and these tanks are going to stage in this area, which if we are as Brig on this high ground, that is still flailable. That is very flailable, but that's what we need to do. We need to, like, Jake is looking to control this fucking off angle, but it's like, slow your fucking roll. You don't even have Inspire yet, bud. Like, if decay a hard ins on like an off angle, like, obviously if you're thinking hindsight, you're thinking, you know, you're probably gonna be there to like mark the tracer as she comes up, and there's gonna be like no competition in you know, who's gonna win the duel, that it's just gonna be the Brig. But like, you're making it harder for no reason. And this VOD individually sucks, because I believe the exact wording I used for closer was the most inept Brig player. I mean, okay, so that bash is fine. Slow, or solely because I think it blocks the monkey burst damage. You can kind of see it that the bash hits before he lands, which I think that's something that's a little interesting. Okay, dude, these flails. Okay, so now we're perma swinging and still barely hitting flails. Like, the big thing I'm seeing here is how difficult we're making it on ourselves to hit flails, and that's why we're not hitting them, and that's why our inspire uptime's low. And even then, like, if you remember back to my how to actually play main support review, or how to actually play main support, like, boom, that's a fine flail, obviously, but like, if you miss a flail on Brig, you then have to compensate and get inspired by another means, which, like, more oftentimes than not, would be to, if we're using Jake's positioning here, is to push forward, overextend a little bit, slap someone, bash away. Like, that's a lot more consistent than trying to keep hitting these super scary skill shot flails. It's like, bro, calm the fuck down. Just hit shit that you know you can hit. And I mean, like, if you hit a stun on someone, or like, in a lot of cases, if you keep track of where a tracer's blinks are, or where they were, I mean, when they recall, because you can stun a tracer, and depending on the tracer, they might insta recall, and if they do, it feels really fucking good. If you're a Brig, bash the tracer goes for a whole fucking recall thing, then you kind of spank them with a flail on the way out. That is a fucking statement from a Brig player. But I don't see that here. I don't see, like, I don't see the urgency. Again, what was that? Let's talk a little bit hindsight here. Why? Monkey is more than in range just to give you inspire this way. Not to mention, if you want to make a monkey work for like his value, because monkey gets a lot of his value from cleaving, and I think everyone pretty much knows that. But if monkey starts high ground, drops down, tries to cleave, and then gets immediately slapped and then flailed away, like flailed backwards towards like these stairs or whatever, he then has to either make that ground up again, completely disengage, or use a jump to get back to where he was initially cleaving, which I don't think you would use here, but that's just how I see it in terms of like, because like you don't even proc inspire for like 2 seconds because of this, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but Piggy's taking damage. This is getting you closer to rally, especially because you're against closer. So just naturally, even though you're not playing super well, you're like over double his fucking ult charge, but you want to push that narrative even more. What the fuck was that? Why did we isolate ourselves? This bash also absolutely kills us. Okay, flail was useless. Now, I guarantee any Jake stan would be like, bro, this is just because Sombra hack is broken. No, I mean yes and no, because we know Sombra hack's broken. So why the fuck would you not like? It's amusing to me. Let me collect my thoughts, because first off, number one thing to look at is shield, because as long as you still have shield, you should be using it to make sure you don't die. And although walls are inconsistent, this wall that we're right next to is very inconsistent at blocking Sombra hack. Our shield isn't. I mean, obviously depending on like ping and everything, but that doesn't fucking matter. We're putting ourselves in a horrible fucking situation, instead of if we slap mag, get what we need, and back out. The rest of our team's already backing. We don't have to stay in this corner super hard. Playing corners is very good, yes, but would you rather be in this corner without bash, or bash to this corner with the rest of your team? Like, I don't think it's a hard decision to make, but a lot of people would try to say that this is just solely because the Sombra, as well as you didn't, I mean, you weren't even able to pack Crimzo because you weren't like so far aware. But again, Brig is a middleman, so frontlining is fucking horseshit a lot of the time. Like, obviously you can weave in and out of frontline, backline, whatever, to compensate for being the middleman, but yeah, this Inspire uptime, pardon me, this Inspire uptime looks extremely low. Okay, spy checking during okay, so man, this is wacky. Okay, so I'm a little confused by the decision making entirely, because we're spy checking as they're forcing point. Now, the problem that I have with that is not the spy checking itself, it's the fact that we're trailing off. Because now, like, as soon as this EMP comes out, look how far away we are. Now sure, the like rally comes out and can compensate for the lack of getting Inspire, but not fast enough, as well as what the fuck was that combo? Why would you ever full combo that? Look, boom, you got what you need. That is the most greedy thing I've ever seen. So like the slap, like I just call slapping like Brig's normal M1. So you M1, beat the shit out of fucking Mag. There, your job is done. Because now you have Inspire, you have Rally. If they try to push on this EMP, you're fine. But I also have a problem with now, because we're so busy greeting for this, we don't, I mean, obviously hindsight, it wasn't something that was crazy, but like, pack usage is also, like, we have not used a pack in this fight. And your final wish as a player of the match, Brigida player, was to fucking pack Crimzo once in an entire fight and to use... Okay, and now we're just... Okay. Inconsistency. I don't understand it. I feel like if you're a Brig player, if you're a main support player, if you're whatever, have a style, which I not exactly like is the best thing ever, but like what I mean by it is, like, if you watch League on, you know what you're getting. You know you're getting a high mechanical person that goes for high risk, high reward plays. Sometimes he gets punished, sometimes he doesn't. It's dependent on the team. What I don't understand is how you can go some fights without packing anyone, which, even though like the tanks were antied from your team, like, I mean, you didn't do anything to help that, in terms of you weren't there to make their tanks work harder for their kills. But going from never packing like at all to perma packing, like, look at that. Do you really think Dreamer needs a fucking pack? Let me investigate the HP. Plus, Fury's just now using micros. We got packed at 460 something HP. Why? Why? Pack heals so much if you use it correctly. Okay. So for this Fury thing, this is I guess more of a personal thing, but I would have full comboed there solely just because, like, look at where Fury is. Fury is very close to the edge, very in range to, like, I mean, just taking the Inspire proc and being fine with it is fine. But I see that there is a possibility for a better Brig player to, like, I mean, it'd be very close with bash range, but it'd be aggro bash, turn, flail into pit would be my I guess my plan of action or whatever. That's just what comes to mind for me. I mean, that would be... Why? Why are you walking down a... I'm so confused. Your play was so fucking dumb, you made Piggy fucking bubble you while you're on double bubble. Why would the fucking Brig ever get bubbled in double bubble? Why? Because you're out of position. You hit the proc on, like, if you were to just look at Assassin, that's fine. If you were just looking at him and then turn, farm Fury again, hit him with another slap, or, I mean, I think Mag's gonna be coming in pretty soon. Like, you can look for more Inspire procs. You don't have to walk this fucker down. You're not gonna do anything. But again, let's watch the kid fucking trail off. As I said before, middleman. Brig's a middleman. What the fuck are you in the middle of? Nothing. That's pretty evident. And I do not understand that. This is solely taking you a little bit out of the fight, plus still just not having packs pretty much all game. This rally timing is fine. The typical catching a pulse out of sheer luck. Like, I don't know. Okay, so this starts bad because we walk up the Sombra. What the fuck is happening? My sound is breaking. Holy shit. So I'm a little confused here because I don't ever really like what the fuck is happening? I don't really ever like aggressive bashing around a corner just to keep a monkey in place. Like, monkey has one mobility tool and then is a fucking sphere. Like, come on. If you're missing that, that's worth addressing. Because that is not ideal. So that's fine. The proc is fine. Okay. Like, I mean, I guess I understand the, okay. So you bash the Sombra. That's fine. What is this extra little, like, that shows me that that sliver of HP left, that 21 HP tells me Jake isn't used to playing the character. Even though people are like preaching that Jake is a godsent Brig player. How? If he doesn't even know the damage numbers to last hit a Sombra with it. Because he flails the Sombra away, making it to where he can't kill the Sombra before EMP comes out. If Jake holds his fucking, if he doesn't lose his shit for 1 second and slaps him one more time and then flails, he kills the Sombra, and who knows how this fight goes. Because again, this isn't just about winning a fight, this is about dominating a fight. That's what I like to see. Because like there's times where like you can win a fight, but you can't, like, that doesn't mean you won it dominantly. But if you, as a Brig, as a whoever, destroy their only chances of winning a fight, that is domination. If you stop Assassin from using that EMP entirely, that shit's crazy. That's gonna be what should get you player of the game, instead of people that don't understand how to play the role or understand anything about the role and just think that Jake was a funny guy when he played Junkrat, and give him the fucking benefit of the doubt that he's playing the character correctly. It's gonna show if you fucking let it. But yeah, this is a rough one. Okay, we were kinda, pardon me, we were kinda going back and forth. We're pacing a bit. That's a fine flail. Didn't really need to. Okay. We don't give divas more like credit than they need. That like we don't need to commit to the bash unless they land on this high ground and use micros. Fury just got bash out for decay solely from not committing, bunny hopping, and dropping back down. Like, Fury just got out a fuck ton just in that one bash. Because now decay is able to poke. Why? What was that bash for? God, this is what I don't understand. Like, you did really good the first one. I mean, the misuse of bash was a thing, but like you're obviously playing for anti-dive, and that's fine. So again, boom, you stop the dive, that's it. You just did your job. Did you not? Like, the only thing that you get out of this bash is if... Where's decay? Because decay was just up here. The only thing you got out of bashing over to coast is nothing. You just stop yourself from getting procs from mag, and you see how lost he is by the time he gets back trying to find mag. And I mean, again, now decay was able to poke up there for free. If the Justice cared enough to be like, their Brig doesn't have bash, and they actually capitalized on it because you didn't have bash or because you wasted bash, that'd be an entirely different story. Okay, that's... Okay. So, this is a late flail, but it's fine. But you know what's not fine? Fury didn't commit micros yet. Because in the way that you're playing anti-dive here, which, I mean, sucked because by the angle that you flailed mag at, it literally did nothing to their dive, but you did, in hindsight, get Inspire. And that's fine. But you want their dive to feel oppressed. That's what you do on Brig. And you do that by countering them. Because anytime they make a move, you're there. You're making a move as well. Anytime that they're trying to jump on the high ground, you're trying to flail them down. Anytime they're like, and there's two parts to this dive. There's decay that's been on your stairs for 15 years. And there's, I mean, mag and fury. I mean, assassin's most likely going to be, I guess, spamming a bit, but also mostly forcing point. And I mean, their healers are just their healers, but how, I don't understand how up to this point we, being Brig, are getting the same amount of value as Closer. Which, if I'm thinking about this logically, Closer has been in Cage for 16 years. He has not gone anywhere. He's not done anything. And I mean, solely is Closer getting as much value as Jake is getting on Brig solely based on packs? That's a genuine question, because I don't know, and that's what I would be led to believe in terms of old charge mostly. Just, I mean, in general, like, this is, I mean, the pack was a little late as well, but that's a little nitpicky. Okay, that was just bad. Why? Like, why are you in such a hurry to get to the coast to double pack a Hammond that's been half HP this entire time? That's weird to me. Not to mention still hasn't procced Inspire, still hasn't procced Inspire, still hasn't procced Inspire. Come on. Nope, just doesn't feel like it. Did not flail. Did not call for bubble to be broken, did not call for anything of the sort to help him succeed there. Nano Brig, let's go. We are scared as hell to flail. Holy shit. Like, this is what I don't understand about why people think that like the Brig players currently are fine and that they're great, they're amazing, they're whatever. Why or how are the Brig players currently great if no fight, seemingly in the majority of cases by Brig players, why are they so ineffective? Why do they literally not have a say in whether a fight is won or lost? Like by the time Jake procs Inspire, Bebe and Mag are dead. So if Outlaws somehow do not win this fight, that's incredible. And now we're okay. So tell me how we go from literally scared to press a shift and flail anything in the slightest hope that we get Inspire pre-fight to now we're flailing ghosts, seemingly. I mean, I don't know if that was a spy check one. I wouldn't assume it was. But that's so strange to me. Like, that inconsistency of gameplay, of, you know, sometimes I go for optimistic flails, and sometimes I just not feeling like it. Okay, so Jake's trying to get high. This is fine. This spy checking's fine. Sorry for the Pringles ASMR. What the fuck was that? That flail's fine. Eh. Okay. What the fuck? Does Jake not know what micros are? Does Jake not know that micro missiles are meant to burn down squishies? And if you as Brig are standing between you and your Zen and the diva is committing micros, that you need to bash them out of them to deny her burst damage? Now, okay, there's a case that can be made here that because Jake was in the middle of rally animation, he wasn't able to bash. I mean, okay, if you want to make that case, sure, but I don't know. It's just shown me the lack of understanding of all of what he needs to do. I mean, I think that's about all I need to see. I mean, there's nothing I really need to draw on the outro screen here, but I guess I'll draw a smiley face and talk about it. So I don't think that Jake's that good. I think I don't I don't think he has a understand, like, I'm trying to even think of what I can say that's good about this Brig play that I just saw. Well, it was all inconsistent actually, because if we're talking about Inspire uptime, like he had pockets of getting really good Inspire procs, and then had really long dry spouts, and you can't do that. you can't teeter totter. You then I mean, I was thinking maybe positioning, but even the positioning, like, what comes to mind is like defaulting to the right position at times, and then the time where, you know, Jake was sat in a fucking corner and and let himself get hacked by a Sombra. Like, everything in that was inconsistent as hell. Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. So I don't know who to do next. I might do tuba or something, and then I might start moving on to flex supports. But with that being said, I appreciate the fuck out of all of you for watching. Again, I'm sorry my voice is really weird and I guess kind of tired today, but regardless, I hope this was informative. I hope this was good. If there's any other video you want me to make, just let me know in the comments. Follow me on Twitter so you can know whenever I upload, and I will see you when I see you. Later.